Welcome. If you're getting started with your vacuum erection device and you've been building these great erections and you go to transfer the tension ring onto the base of the penis, somehow in that transition, you lose immediately some of the firmness that you're aiming for. And that's not an uncommon thing for men to struggle with, especially when they're first getting started. There's an art to this. There's an art to getting, first of all, building that firm erection, practicing, developing that, pulling the vacuum device away and saying, this is really firm, even without a tension ring. You may lose that firmness almost immediately without one of the tension rings that come with your device applied to the base of the penis. But you're building that erection, you're seeing that it's firm, it's suitable for intercourse. And then as soon as you pull the vacuum device away, with the tension ring loaded onto the base of the penis, you're still finding that you're losing that erection, or you don't have that same solid erection you had once you stop pumping and you go to apply this. I want to dig a little bit deeper in quick fashion here on how to overcome some of the challenges that men face when it comes to transferring a tension ring from the cylinder to the base of the penis and maintaining that very firm erection. So here are some suggestions. First of all, the assumption here is that you are 95% firm. Once you've built the erection, you've been applying the vacuum to the penis, you're drawing it in, you got a good firm erection. Always remember that once you apply the tension ring onto the base of the penis, what you have in terms of firmness is what you will have for up to 30 minutes, which is as long as you should wear a tension ring on the base of the penis. That's what you will end up with. So if you're at 90%, you're not going to go from a 90% firm erection applying the tension ring onto the base of the penis and suddenly go from 90 to 95%. It doesn't work that way. So you want to make sure in your practice sessions, before you even start to apply the tension ring onto the base of the penis, make sure if you pull the vacuum away and you immediately check the firmness of your erection, you're at a pretty firm state and you're firm enough with an erection that is suitable for intercourse. It's that firm. So make sure that you're getting to that point. And if you're not, keep practicing. Depending on the severity of erectile dysfunction, you've got to expect that it's going to take some practice sessions to get to that place where you've got a good, solid, firm erection. So just make sure that you're building it up to that point. And if you're not yet, keep practicing, keep practicing. It may take longer than you think it will. But if you're at that place where you are building a firm erection consistently and you want to then transfer a tension ring onto the base of the penis, the next thing to make sure of is that you're using the right tension ring, the right level of tension. If you built a good solid erection, you transfer the tension ring off of the cylinder onto the base of the penis, but then you're still losing that erection, it's entirely possible that you don't have enough tension applied to the base of the penis. You can see I've got here Postiovac tension rings. You can see the inside diameter on these is different. You may start with this one. Like, well, I had a great erection, applied the tension ring, but still lost the erection. So if that's the case, then you've got to sort of graduate down in terms of inside diameter and tension strength to be successful. And the same thing's true for the Erection tension rings here. You can see that I've got 4 Erection tension rings, 2 different diameters on the inside, the A and the B, and then 2 inside diameters are the same on the C and D, but the tension strength is different, stronger as you progress down. A is less strong than B is less strong than C, etc. And just make sure that you're using the right level of tension to hold that blood in the penis. Now, another trick that might help is to make sure that you can see here, I've got a Postiovac tension ring loaded onto the cylinder. The temptation here is to just load this thing anywhere on the cylinder, but make sure that you load it right at the edge. And don't just load it right at the edge. You want to make sure that you load a tension ring onto a cylinder that is well lubricated, even here on the outside. So what you're aiming for is to get a good, smooth transition from the cylinder onto the penis. And you don't want rolling, and you don't want to travel a great distance. You want to be expedient and quick in this process. So we want to make sure that we've loaded the tension ring onto a well-lubricated outer perimeter here on the cylinder, and that may help speed up that process. So what I'm going to do here, and I've got other videos on how to load the tension rings onto the cylinder manually or with one of the devices that help facilitate that a little bit easier. But here I'm just going to load it manually here in my lap. I'm going to pull out, not on these outside tabs. Instead, I want to get on the inside and just really pull out, and I'm going to load it down here. And I want to make sure that I'm right on the edge of the cylinder. And why do I want to do that? I want to make sure that I'm not traveling a great distance. So if I load here, again, you just want to be speedy with this. So I want to be right here on the edge so that I'm ready to be successful when it comes time to transfer this onto the base of the penis. And then finally, probably the most important step here is that something is happening for many men when you go to transfer the tension ring from the cylinder onto the base of the penis. You've got to fight the urge to pull the vacuum device away from the body before making the transfer. What I don't want to do is to load the tension ring here onto anywhere but the base of the penis here. So you can see I want to be as far against the rest of the body as I possibly can be and as far away from the head of the penis. If I'm in the middle, that means that all of this will be firm. All of this will probably return back to a semi-flaccid, if not entirely flaccid state. And now you're just working with this much. So just make sure that when you are going to transfer the tension ring from the cylinder, that you are well against the body, right against the base of the penis, so that when you transfer the tension ring onto the well-lubricated penis, it's as close to the base of the penis as you can possibly get it. And when I say base of the penis, what I mean is that I want to be as far against where the scrotum starts. I want to be right here when I make that transfer. So just remember, good lubrication, load the tension ring as close to the edge of the cylinder as you possibly can, hold the vacuum seal, don't break it, don't press the button when it's time to transfer this onto the base of the penis, hold it. Almost think about pushing in this direction against the body and hold that. If you've got a lot of hair down there, remember you want to have an unobstructed path from the cylinder to the base of the penis. If you've got a lot of hair, that might be creating some problems for you. You might want to trim that down. I want to shave it, but just get it out of the way so you can make this transfer as quick as possible. And then once you get this onto the base of the penis, the next thing you want to do is, if you did load it a little bit forward here toward the head of the penis, because you're well lubricated here on the penis, you can just take these two tabs and just maneuver the tension ring as close to the rest of the body as you can possibly get it, as close to the pelvis as you can possibly get it, because that then means that you've got more erect tissue to work with. I hope that was helpful. If you have questions about this sort of a challenge that you're facing or anything else that you have questions about, you can write to us at education@timmedical.com. You can comment in the comments section of this video. We always do the best we can to respond as quickly as possible because we know this is an important matter for you and we want to help you. Remember, if you buy anything, enter the code YouTube15 when you go to the timmedical.com website in the coupon code section, and you'll save 15% off of anything that you purchase.